in South Africa, white farmers are getting killed and their lands taken over simply because they are white. Only in America, y'all keep ranting about it and building museums and using your education system to brainwash generations of children into thinking they are victims if they're black and they are monsters if they are white, okay? And yet, you keep escaping the part where Africa had its own internal slave trades. The Europe bought the slaves from Africa. The Arabs bought the slaves from Africa. It was a global business at the time. And since you people on the show never mention any of the things I just talked about, I gotta ask, are you doing the cat box thing to cover it up?
Full-sack white man! Full-sack! Full-sack white man! Full-sack! All white men! The bitches! All white men! The bitches! They must die! Like bitches!
Simran Konto Alliance. Shoot to kill Yamaza. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer. Brr, pa, pa, brr, pa, pa. Attention. Kichi, kichi, kichi.
Africa. Will you plan to cut aid across other African nations, and why South Africa?
No, it's only South Africa. Terrible things are happening in South Africa. The leadership is doing some terrible things, horrible things. So that's under investigation right now. We'll make a determination. And until such time as we find out what South Africa is doing, they're taking away land, they're confiscating land, and actually they're doing things that are perhaps far worse than that.
So when we say shoot to kill Nyamazan, we are commanding Nyamazan to shoot and kill. The message in the chant is very clear. Shoot to kill, kill. Nyamazan means shoot to kill the enemy.
You said what we need is a system in place to get rid of white people. Is that correct?
Yes.
What would that mean to get rid of white people?
So if we go into a conference and we go or into parliament and make a constitutional amendment that all whites must be driven to the sea and any white who remains here is going to be killed. That all whites must be driven to the sea and any white who remains here is going to be killed. Then we engage in that type of a program to drive all whites to the sea. It's an institutionalized decision.
This is an extract from your speech in Newcastle on the 7th of November, where you stated this phrase: "We are not calling for the slaughter of white people, at least for now." So you're saying you are not ruling out that in the future you may very well call for the slaughter of white people.
It may not be me.
Could it be you?
It could be me.
If I asked you to pledge to say, I will never call for the slaughter of white people, would you make that pledge?
I will do it with ease.
Make that pledge.
Why would I do that?
I'm asking you to make that pledge.
I
will do it.
I won't do it.
Make the pledge.
I won't.
In April 2010, Leon Kukumor, at the age of 39, was attacked on his farm near Cullinan in Gauteng. The attackers screamed the words, "Die, white man, die, Viva Malema," as they were attacking Kukumor. In June 2014, Knowledge Paulus Mdlazi, 28, admitted to murdering 5 white farmers in 3 months between March and June 2014. Quote, "My hate for white people made me do it," he said. He described his conduct as merely going to work and boasted in the courtroom about the fact that he had 6 murders under his belt. You'd stated earlier that there are no murders of white people. What you say you mean by that is they are just murders. Now, I've given you 2 examples where the contention is that these are racially motivated.
There's no problem of white people being killed. There's no problem of farmers being killed.
Are you willing to condemn the murder of white people?
No, I'm willing to condemn murder, not of white people.
On 6th of March 2009, Alice Lotter, at the age of 76, and her daughter Helen, the age of 57, were tortured to death on their farm in Allenbridge near Volcom in the Free State. Their home was several hundred meters from the Allenbridge police station. Both women were tortured for hours, being stabbed with broken glass bottles in their vaginas. One of the women also had her breast cut off while she was still alive. Helen's injuries were so extreme that the medical examiner was unable to tell if she had also been raped. Alice had been stabbed in the neck and throat and had drowned in her own blood. Their blood was used to write the words, "Kill the Boer," on the walls of their homestead. The torturers who tortured this mother and daughter to death and then wrote the words, "Kill the Boer in blood," were they in a position of power over those two women?
My Lord, we don't know if they are farmers. We don't know their social standing. We don't know their relationship to the means of production.
Now that just shows me how sick and twisted your ideological position is. You've said in order to work out whether there's a power relationship, you need to know if those women are working class. That is outrageous. It's so obvious to every person in this court that a person who tortures another person to death exercises power over them, and you will not acknowledge that. Can you not see the problem with that?
No.
You can't just do stuff like this. You can't just go to someone's farm and just start shooting them and taking their stuff and all. You don't do stuff like this. They were very, very good people. All of them. They were trustworthy and kind, and they were the loveliest people on this earth. And now they're gone.
We're talking about murders, people who are being slaughtered, people who are facing persecution. Let me start by giving you facts. The white South African farmers are being persecuted and they are being murdered. But it's not just the way in which they are brutally slaughtered. These people are suffering, they are tortured, they are just treated inhumanely to an extent that it is almost impossible to explain to people what happens. And all of this is swept under the carpet in South Africa. You don't hear it on the media, you don't hear these figures, you don't hear these stories. You only hear it from the people directly who are affected, their family members, their neighbors, who use things like Facebook and social media to share the horrible stories that have happened to them. Let me give you an idea of what happens to those people. They get slaughtered on their farms because they are there and their farms are wanted. They don't want the people on the farm. The people go in and they would do things like put boiling water down 2-year-olds' throats while they make their parents watch that. They would chop off the Achilles of the parents' feet so that they cannot run. They would kill the people, they would cut them, they would slash them and make them drown in their own blood while they're watching their children being raped. This is the stuff that's happening in South Africa, and this is what nobody is saying in the media. Nobody tells us about that. It is horrible, horrible, horrible.
Understand white people. White people are inferior species to us.
That construction of whiteness prevents white people from connecting to humanity.
Called for the killing of white people, at least for now. I can't guarantee the future.
A revolution demands that at some point there must be killing, because the killing is part of a revolutionary act.
So they tell me, how can they get in there?
Yeah.
Or how can they catch my boss, who is a farmer? They always tell you the bad things about your boss.
What do they say?
The bad thing about you, your life and your family. The bad thing that your children won't go to school because of your boss. He's wasting your time, he's making you stay there by his farm. He's giving you peanuts. If you don't do what we are telling you to do, you're gonna kill your wife, or you're gonna rape your wife in front of you and kill her. And rape even your children, the small one.
Rape the small one?
Yeah.
And how small a child would they
Even
rape?
at the age of 2 years, very young, very young.
And some members of the South African police force are complicit in these attacks.
Shoot to kill, kill them. Kiss the poor, the farmer. Kiss the poor, the farmer. Brr, pa, pa, brr, pa, pa.
The economic freedom fighters sing this song at their political rallies. Kill the Boer, kill the white man and make throat-slitting gestures against their white opponents.